Well, Sam Deguara, thank you for accepting our invitation for this interview, and thank you for taking the time out of your day to speak with us. I know it's always been a pleasure to speak to you, and I'm sure this will be just the same. Um, you are one of the few Maltese players playing abroad and the first to make it in Japan. Now, first of all, I wanted to satisfy my curiosity and ask you how life is currently in Japan for you as a player for Tokyo
Yes.
Excellence. How are you settling in? I know it's your first season. Um, uh, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I think coming to Japan far away from Malta, it's difficult and it's tough because no friends or family can come visit me, and the borders are closed with the corona situation. So I have to manage my life here. It's not like playing in Italy where it's closed. It's far, so it's different. By managing my team is, uh, I'm surprised how they are helping each player and how the culture of the Japanese people is very, very welcoming, and they believe a lot in family and how I'm doing every day.
No, the issue of borders, I wanted to deal with it later. Uh, but something interesting I've seen since you've joined the club is how involved they've got you into even off-court things. For example, they have you on a lot of the advertising that
Yes,
that they're having, and it shows
they
that
are
you
using
are
they
very
are using
important
my
for
height.
them. Sorry?
They are using my height too.
But it shows that you've become very important for the team as well. How does it make
Yes,
you
they
feel?
are really proud of me. They are making sure that I'm at my top shape, at my top performance every game, and they make sure that I'm the main guy who's helping them win the games. And yes, they are taking advantage of my presence here this time that I'm being with the team, and they are using it in every situation,
Ah,
advertising, and you know, I'm the
and
tallest guy playing in the Japanese leagues too.
sure.
So
And to be honest, as well, looking at your scores as well, you're paying them back because you're putting up big numbers in your games as well, 20,
yes,
30 point games as well. So it's working. Um,
yes,
now this brings me to when you joined. I mean, last time that we spoke, I think it was in October or November, something like that. The thing which was
yes,
stopping you from signing with a club was what you mentioned before, the closing of COVID's closing of borders because of COVID.
yes, yes,
So it was a big barrier for you. How did the
yes.
move to Japan eventually happen?
I continue to believe in myself, continue to looking for a job, and finally I managed to find a contract, and I managed to get in Tokyo.
In fact, I wanted to ask about the Olympics, but later on. I mean, because
Yes,
I it's interesting to uh, know that obviously COVID is still here now, even if you are in Japan as well. Uh, what kind of situation are you in Japan at the moment as players? Do you have any protocols that you have to follow for each game? Do you have any specific things that you have to do?
oh, yes. Basically, we have like an application, and we receive an email every day, 12 p.m. We receive an email which we need to enter our condition, our temperature, our weight, our how tired we are, how how it was our sleep. So it's all written in this information, and we input it before we go to the practice, and the team will receive it. And apart from taking temperature at home before we leave to practice, we also like enter it in like you know, our in the paper at the gym. So you know,
No, so it's pretty organized.
apart and from like and when we working out like in the gym, we are like cleaning every piece of equipment we use. After we finish using it, like we clean it with sanitizer, and they have everything ready in the gym. And yeah, we make sure doing all these things, because if we're not, we you know, get warned, you know.
Alright, so it's more than just precaution as a way.
No, it's not.
It's very
It's like things must be done, you know.
also
And yeah, plus we cannot like gather a lot, like you know, all the things on the uh, outside life.
so are you in a team bubble or something like that?
No, we're not. We just take care.
All right. And now something I've also seen from your games is that they're being played with a smaller attendance, obviously because of COVID.
Yes,
What effect?
50% of the arena.
What effect do you think it has on the team, on the performances, for example? I know you're trying to accommodate the fans, and from videos I can see that that you
Yes.
go to greet the fans after the games as well.
Yes.
What effect does it have?
Well, the management needs wants to is there to make money off the games, so uh, the capacity must be 50%, and you know, the management kept working on playing in this league, and in the future also, you know, keep working with our management. We haven't it hasn't quit, you know, like it must be like a backstage, like for the team, but they just kept working, you know, like.
And I know it's your first season, but do you know if the Tokyo Excellence usually have a big fan base towards the games? I mean, it's
They have
something you think about in the future as well.
Yes, they have. They were in the second league last year. They dropped to the third league because our arena is not big enough. So from next year they're gonna move to a bigger arena, which is already confirmed. And yeah, from not if we arrive first this year, we are eligible for the second league in 2 years, not next year, in 2 years. Because next year the third league is gonna play again, but no team can go up because of Corona.
All right.
Yes.
But speaking of being first, the team is actually first at the moment, and you guys are playing really well.
Yeah.
The record is very high. What do you think of the team so far and of the B3 league? In your
First of all, like the mentality of our organization and the team has never let down. Has always expected from our players their best mental expectations, and they are also like keeping their standards high. Yeah.
And now on a personal level, as Sam Deguara, the player for Tokyo Excellence. I mean, watching your games, you could easily see that you're putting big numbers, as I said before, this season, and it's only your first year at the club, which is huge. What do you think of your performances so far?
Well, I started the first 2 games with the wrong approach, and I have learned so much from every game because the play of the Japanese basketball is very different from the Asian basketball or the Maltese basketball or kind of like the Italian basketball here. The refs are very specific, like and detailed. Like even so also sometimes they are okay too. Like but I had to adjust to the play of the basketball here in Japan. It's not easy. As I've heard from other American players, they took some time to adjust to the play here. And slowly I got into the rhythm to playing better and better game by game.
Now, an issue that maybe I found is that in the beginning you were put in the game in the starting five immediately, but now it's I'm not sure the reason why you're getting rested some games starting from the bench, so it's not really been consistent. Is it something
Yes.
that's coming from the coaching staff, or is it something specific?
Well, me not starting from starting five, it's coming from the coach. For me personally, I'm having great games coming from the bench, and we're still winning the games. So for the team, for our team, it only matters how many games we win and if we win the game. And if I start from the bench and I have like 30 points or 20 points, and I still played good, and that doesn't make difference starting from the bench in the beginning, and it came to my mind and many times, and it affected me. But I was too worried about that rather than being consistent on every game, Because if you lose too much energy on if you start the game or you don't start the game, you don't enjoy it. So
True.
I have no control on it, and like I'm not even gonna talk about it again. Like it's useless energy.
And now you spoke about consistency, and as it is now at the moment, you are being very consistent. You're getting 20 plus points every weekend. And how important do you think it is for you to keep on doing this? Until the end of the season.
It's important because it also helps me as a person, and and people will start believing in you and trust you, and start seeing you too. Like the team will have more trust in you.
And apart from the many times that we spoke before, and one of your mottos was always to keep on working as hard as you can. And you mentioned it even in the beginning as well in this interview.
Yes, work as hard as you can with the right mentality.
And it looks like it's working at the moment. What are you working on at the moment to improve further?
Just personally being, the best person I can be outside the court and in the court,
And
not just thinking or just thinking about other things rather than being the best person I can,
And now getting back to the changes that you mentioned in the beginning. In B3 League, I'm not sure how it works in the others as well, but I think it's quite a staple in Japan. your weekends are usually playing 2 games against the same opponent. Uh, and to be honest, it's different than what we see usually in other countries. How was it for you to be playing the same team one day after the other?
Yes, it's a good challenge. It's great challenge. Some days, some weekends we go away games and we are staying in the same hotel for like 3 nights and we're playing the same team. Oh, and 2 games in a row, and you need to win there. Like
Hmm.
some games we are in a home game and we play them in two games in a row. It's we prepare for each team starting from Monday or Tuesday. So there's time to prepare, to see the opponents, to adjust our and improve our basketball. And for me it's great because you're gonna see the same opponent one day after another, and you know who you're gonna face.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it helps also with the pressure because after the first day you know how the opponent operates, so you can work in a different way as well, I guess.
Yeah,
And now, obviously,
but
something.
I wouldn't be thinking about it too much. Like if I would be thinking about who I'm gonna face, they need to think about who they're gonna face.
Yeah. And speaking of this, I mentioned before the team is doing very well, and you're in the first top spot as well. Um, what do you think? I mean, how do you think that the team can do this after doing this well? I mean, until the end of the season, what are your expectations? Do you
But
think?
there's still 18 games to go, and there's some opponents. There are, for example, the toughest team who we're facing this week. They are, you know, there are games that we must win. It's not the end of the season yet, so let's not, think of too much what's gonna happen at the end of the season. I can keep this energy and until the end of the season. It's great to win every game, and then when we're gonna get to the top spot in the league, we got the chance to go to the second league in 2 years.
Hmm. How much does it affect you that it's going to be 2 years instead of 1 year? I mean, in terms of promotion, knowing that
Uh,
you've won the league, but you're still going to be in the same league next year.
the team's gonna not me. I have no contract next year, so the team is gonna stay in the same league next year, not me.
So you are
If
planning on moving or maybe extending? How is the situation?
they might want me back. So after the season, we can evaluate every solution.
Hmm.
You know,
Now, speaking of currently now,
I can speak about that if they want me back. If I stay in the team,
but how is
which is
it looking
great
so far?
also.
How is it looking so far?
It looks good, but you can just think about it.
Yeah, of course. And
Yes.
now, speaking as a Maltese player, to close off this interview, um, as we all know, the Olympics are going to be happening in Tokyo, which is where you are currently playing, and you mentioned before, it also helped to bring you the contract with the Tokyo Excellence. And I imagine it's a completely different feeling to see the atmosphere that is currently in Tokyo at the moment with the Olympics soon to start. How is it, first of all, over there at the moment with all the preparation?
Uh, it, the preparation has been going on since last year, and it was postponed every month, by month. It's gonna start in July, I think, July or August. Yeah, I'm not gonna be here at that moment, so everywhere like it's like banners and advertisement is all over the bus stations or the taxis. They all have a logo. There's many like gift shops, and in every mall there's like a gift shop with all the souvenirs of the Olympics, and it's great atmosphere. Like you can feel that the Olympics are gonna be soon.
But an issue that we've seen so far among people in Japan is they were afraid that it would make things worse with COVID.
Yeah, and they're still afraid.
And there were also people who protested, I heard as well.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you think about this?
And they're still afraid. I'm not sure if the fans can enter the country.
Foreign ones, no. Foreign ones, no.
So yeah,
only locals.
So yeah, like it's gonna be great if the athletes are only gonna come inside, and the risk is much less to spread the virus.
And finally, as a player, I mean, you mentioned that you're not going to be here when the Olympics happen, but does it put any more motivation on you to see a country which is going to have the biggest sports event in the world happening right at your doorstep?
Yes, that's great motivation. It's like I'm playing basketball in the biggest city in the world. That's like it's so big here that like the the neighborhood is so big. Like you can travel all around and you always discover something new here. And it's like having the Olympics here. And in August, I might also be here. You never know.
Yeah. And is it your plan to stay? I know you particularly enjoy Asia. Last time we spoke as well, you said it was similar to how you adapt your life.
Yes.
So is it your plan ideally to stay there?
Yes, depends. Not like I would be also up to it to do it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now, basically, this has been really fun, and I've got to know things which obviously we can never know from here, from Malta, especially because obviously it's the other side of the world, and it has to come from someone like you who's experiencing something, this atmosphere, as you said, and the different game in Tokyo yourself. From here, once again, I want to thank you for being with us, and I want to wish you all the best for the rest of the season. Hopefully, the Tokyo Excellence get to win the league as well. So
of course.
So you get to see the atmosphere as a champion as well, and hopefully we get to see you next year as well.
Thank you very much, Jared.
Yeah, it's been fun. So, and Sam Deguara, thank you again.
My pleasure, man.